Welcome to Sleep Learner, a place where your curiosity is met with calm and your desire to grow is gently honored. Tonight, we begin a quiet journey through one of the most extraordinary systems in the known universe, the human body. There's no need to take notes, no need to remember anything at all. Your conscious mind can drift, dream, or even fall into deep rest. And beneath it all, your subconscious, that quiet observer within you, will listen, absorb, and explore. This is not a test, it's not a lecture, it's an experience, a cinematic journey inward. You may find your breath slowing, you may begin to feel more grounded. That's okay. That's part of the process. Let this be a gentle invitation, not to learn with urgency, but to remember how deeply intelligent your body already is. From the surface of your skin to the soft rhythm of your heartbeat, from the vast network of your nerves to the quiet wisdom of your bones, from the air you breathe to the thoughts you think, your body is always listening. You don't have to be a medical student to appreciate it. You just have to be willing to wonder, to notice, to rest. And so, as you settle into this space, whether you're drifting to sleep or simply looking for peace, I invite you to let go. Let go of stress. Let go of perfection. Let go of needing to know it all. Because tonight, we'll take a slow, reverent journey through the systems that make you. You. And it all begins with the surface, the outermost layer of your being, your skin. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Skin and Senses. Let's begin at the surface. The outermost layer of your being, your skin. It's something we so often overlook, yet it's the largest organ in your body, a living, breathing interface between you and the world around you. It holds you together, protects you, cools you, warms you, and speaks the language of touch, long before words ever arrive. The skin is more than a covering, it's a storyteller. Every scar, freckle, and wrinkle holds memory. And within each inch of your skin, millions of microscopic processes are unfolding, all without your conscious awareness. Imagine now, floating gently just above your body, observing it with fresh eyes. Beneath what you can see, the surface you wash, moisturize, tan, or tattoo, lies a layered miracle. The skin is made of three main layers, the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. Each one a quiet system in itself. The epidermis is the outermost layer, the part you touch and see. It's made up primarily of keratinocytes, cells that produce keratin, a protein that helps waterproof and protect. This is where your skin renews itself, every 28 to 40 days. Quietly, invisibly, it sheds and rebuilds. Like the moon, beneath it, the dermis, is a denser world. This is where your sense of touch lives. Thousands of nerve endings detect pressure, pain, vibration, and temperature. It's also where blood vessels weave their way through tissue, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell. The dermis holds your hair, follicles, sweat glands, and sebaceous glands, tiny factories that help regulate temperature and keep your skin soft and flexible. Every bead of sweat that cools you, every goosebump that rises when you're cold or moved, begins here. Even deeper, the hypodermis, or subcutaneous layer, contains fat connective tissue and larger blood vessels. It cushions your organs, stores energy, and helps anchor your skin to the underlying muscles and bones. It's the quiet foundation beneath your visible self. But skin doesn't only respond to the outside world. It's also a mirror for what's happening within. Stress, hormones, nutrition, and emotions all show up here. Blushing when embarrassed, sweating when anxious, breaking out when overwhelmed. And skin heals. It wants to repair itself, A cut, a scratch, a burn, your body sends white blood cells, clotting factors, and collagen like builders. Restoring a cathedral. This repair happens day and night without fanfare. Now, take a moment to notice your sense of a touch. Something so constant, we forget it's even there. Touch begins in the dermis, where mechanoreceptors, specialized nerve endings, translate physical contact into electrical signals. A breeze on your cheek, the softness of your sheets, the warmth of your hand resting on your chest. Different receptors respond to different stimuli. Meissner's corpuscles detect light touch, flutter, and texture, perfect for reading Braille or feeling the grain of sandpaper. Merkel discs sense steady pressure and shape. Ruffini endings pick up stretch, and Pacinian corpuscles respond to deep vibration, like the hum of music through a wall. These signals travel through peripheral nerves to your spinal cord and brain, where they're translated into meaning. Some, like pain or heat, trigger fast reflexes. Others, like the brush of a loved one's hand, linger in memory. Your skin also speaks in temperature. Thermoreceptors detect warmth and coolness. These tiny thermometers adjust your internal systems, triggering sweat when you're hot, goosebumps when you're cold. They help your body maintain homeostasis, keeping your internal environment steady, even when the outside world fluctuates. And then there's pain. Nociceptors, your body's danger detectors, respond to harmful stimuli. They protect you by making sure you notice a sharp burn, a sudden cut, a broken bone. But even pain has purpose. It reminds you to care for yourself, to slow down, to heal. The skin is our earliest form of communication. Long before we spoke, we touched. Skin-to-skin contact builds trust, calms the nervous system, and releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A newborn on its mother's chest, a comforting hand on a grieving shoulder. Touch carries meaning without a single word. And so, as you drift into deeper rest, consider this. Your skin is not just a barrier. It is a bridge between sensation and emotion, between the world and your inner life, between the seen and the unseen. It is the first layer of presence, the one that feels, responds, protects, and reveals. Now imagine moving inward, beneath this intricate surface. Deeper still lies the silent scaffold that holds it all in place, strong, quiet, and always supporting you, your bones. Let's continue. Chapter 2. The skeletal system. The bones of your body form a quiet architecture, strong, intricate, and enduring. Though silent, your skeleton is always listening. It holds you up when you feel like collapsing. It gives your body its unique shape, protects your most vital organs, and partners with your muscles to move you through the world with grace and power. You have 206 bones, each one with a name, a place, a story. Some are long, like the femur, the strongest bone in the body. Others are delicate, like the tiny stapes in your middle ear, no bigger than a grain of rice. Each one plays a role in the orchestra that is you. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a wide, quiet museum, not of art, but of bone. In this museum, your skull is a crown. The cranium protects your brain, the command center of your being. Its curved plates are fused by sutures, like puzzle pieces permanently locked in place. The mandible, or lower jaw, allows you to speak, chew, and express. Moving down, your spine is a flexible pillar made of 33 vertebrae stacked like building blocks. It curves gently, absorbing shock, enabling movement, and housing the spinal cord. That precious river of nerves, from the neck to the lower back. Each segment plays a role. cervical for rotation, thoracic for support, lumbar for strength. Your ribs wrap around your chest like a protective cage. 12 pairs rise and fall with every breath you take, shielding your lungs and heart. The sternum, your breastbone, anchors them in the front, while flexible cartilage lets them expand and contract. At the base of this protective system lies the pelvis, a cradle of strength. It supports the spine, balances your torso, and houses reproductive organs. For those who give birth, the pelvis is a sacred passage, widening, shifting, giving way to new life. Now shift your focus to your limbs. Your arms are supported by the clavicle and scapula, your collarbone and shoulder blade. These bones form the shoulder girdle, connecting your arms to your trunk. From there, the humerus, radius, and ulna allow you to reach, lift, and embrace. Your legs are pillars of motion. The femur, long and weight-bearing, connects to the tibia and fibula below the knee. The patella, or kneecap, protects this vulnerable joint. And below that, the bones of your ankles and feet, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges, carry you forward. And yet bones do more than support and protect. Inside their dense structure lies a living world. Within the hollow centers of many bones is bone marrow, a soft golden or red tissue that produces red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Every second, millions of new cells are born here, ensuring that oxygen is carried, infections are fought, and wounds are healed. Bone is alive. It grows, it breaks, and mends. It responds to the forces you place upon it. Have you ever felt stronger after working out? That's not just muscle, it's your bones responding. Wolff's Law tells us that bone adapts to the stress placed upon it. The more demand you place on it, the more it grows in response. And it communicates. Through the osteocytes, osteoblasts, and osteoclasts, cells that form, maintain, and resorb bone, your skeleton is constantly being remodeled. Old cells die, new ones emerge. It's a process both ancient and futuristic. Now imagine this. Even in your deepest sleep, your bones are being renewed, not with noise, not with effort, but with quiet intelligence. And what connects all of these bones together? Joints. Where two bones meet, there is movement and protection. Some joints are fixed, like those in your skull. Others are slightly movable, like the vertebrae, but most are freely movable, synovial joints, like your knees, shoulders, and hips. Each joint is cushioned by cartilage, lubricated by synovial fluid, and supported by ligaments that hold the bones in place. These are engineering marvels, allowing for smooth, controlled motion. So as you move through your day, sitting, standing, stretching, breathing, your skeletal system is always supporting you. It does not ask for praise. It does not complain. It simply holds you with quiet devotion. Now wrapped around these bones are fibers of movement, warm, living threads that allow you to lift, run, hold, and rest. Let us continue now into the next system, your muscles. Chapter 3, the muscular system. Your muscles are always working, even in stillness. Right now, as you lie in bed or settle into your chair, hundreds of muscles are at work. Some you can feel, and many you cannot. They hold your posture, they keep your lungs breathing. They gently shift the position of your eyes, the curve of your lips, the pulse of your heart. Your body is home to over 600 muscles, each with its own rhythm and role. Let's start with the three major types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscles are the ones most familiar to us, the ones we flex, stretch, and train. These are voluntary muscles, attached to bones by tendons. They allow us to move, to lift a glass, type on a keyboard, wave hello, or dance. You control them, but they also respond to habit, repetition, and emotion. Imagine the muscles of your face. subtle fibers that form a smile or a frown. The muscles of your hands, tools of creation and care. Your legs, long bands of power that walk you through life. Beneath all of this, you'll find smooth muscles, silent workers within your organs. They line your stomach, your intestines, your blood vessels. They contract and relax without thought, guiding the movement of food, blood, and air. You don't command them, yet they serve you tirelessly. And then there is cardiac muscle, the miracle of your heart. Unique in structure and function, it beats with quiet consistency, pumping life through you. It never tires, it never asks for applause. From your first breath to your last, it remains loyal. Now pause. Feel into your body. Where are your muscles holding tension? Where are they at ease? Every emotion leaves a trace in your musculature. Fear can tighten the chest. Grief can weigh on the shoulders. Joy can lift the corners of your mouth. Your muscles remember what your mind forgets. The fibers of each skeletal muscle are made up of myofibrils, tiny units that contract through interactions between proteins called actin and myosin. When stimulated by a nerve impulse, these proteins slide past one another, shortening the muscle, creating force. This process, called the sliding filament theory, occurs millions of times a day across hundreds of muscles without you having to think about it. Muscles also store glycogen, a form of energy, and help regulate body temperature. When cold, your muscles shiver, producing heat. When hot, they relax to cool you. They adapt to your choices. They grow stronger with resistance, more flexible with stretching, more coordinated with practice. Even your facial expressions, over 40 muscles, can shift your internal state. Smiling, even slightly, can signal calm to the nervous system. Muscles are in constant communication with your brain. Every intentional movement begins as an electrical impulse in your motor cortex. This signal travels down the spinal cord, exits through motor neurons, and reaches a muscle fiber, triggering it to contract. Your neuromuscular system is like a symphony. The brain, the nerves, the muscles, all playing in harmony. Even the smallest movement, like lifting a finger or blinking an eye, is the result of an elegant exchange between intention and action. Muscles also repair and rebuild. When tiny tears form, after a workout or from everyday use, the body responds by sending nutrients and stem cells to heal and strengthen them. This is how strength is built, not in the moment of strain, but in the stillness after. Sleep plays a critical role in this recovery. During deep sleep, growth hormone is released, aiding in muscle repair, tissue growth, and even fat metabolism. So while you rest tonight, your muscles are not idle. They are recovering, learning, becoming stronger for tomorrow. And for those with invisible fatigue, chronic pain, tension, or muscular disorders, remember, your body is not broken. It's adapting, communicating, asking for care. Your muscles are not just tools for movement. They are messengers of your inner world. And within these muscles, blood flows, a rhythm of life keeping you whole. Let us now turn inward to the next sacred system, the circulatory system, the river within you. Chapter 4. The Circulatory System. Your heart beats over 100,000 times a day, each one a whisper of survival. Within your chest lies a fist-sized miracle, the heart, a tireless engine that sustains every other system. It contracts and relaxes with rhythmic devotion, sending blood surging through over 60,000 miles of blood vessels, enough to encircle the earth more than twice. Let's slow down and witness it together. Imagine a four-chambered temple. The right atrium receives oxygen-poor blood from the body and gently passes it to the right ventricle. That chamber sends it off to the lungs, where oxygen kisses each cell of blood red. Now renewed and radiant, the blood returns to the left atrium, flows into the left ventricle, and from there is launched into the aorta with power and grace. delivering life to every corner of your body. This flow, steady, silent, sacred, is what keeps you alive. The circulatory system isn't just about the heart, though. It's a vast network composed of three main types of blood vessels. Arteries, the bold travelers, carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart. With thick, muscular walls, they pulse in harmony with each beat. Veins, the gentle returners, bring deoxygenated blood back to the heart. They contain valves, tiny gates, to prevent backward flow. And capillaries, the smallest and most magical of all, form bridges between arteries and veins. Their walls are thin enough for oxygen, nutrients, carbon dioxide, and waste to pass through, nourishing your body one cell at a time. Let's pause for a moment. Bring your awareness to your pulse, whether in your wrist, your neck, or your chest. Feel that subtle throb. That is your heart's voice. And that rhythm is not accidental. The sinoatrial node, often called the natural pacemaker, sends electrical impulses that control your heartbeat 60 to 100 times per minute when you're at rest. Even in your deepest sleep, it never ceases. Even in heartbreak, it carries on. Now consider your blood, a river of nutrients, hormones, immune cells, and memory. With every heartbeat, it distributes oxygen, gathers waste, regulates temperature, and communicates with distant tissues. It's made up of red blood cells, which transport oxygen via hemoglobin, white blood cells, the guardians of immunity, platelets, which help your blood clot, plasma, the fluid that carries them all. Your blood is intelligent, constantly adapting to your needs, delivering what is needed where it is needed, in real time. The circulatory system also plays a role in emotions. When you're anxious, your heart rate rises. When you're relaxed, it slows. Blood flow shifts to muscles or the digestive system depending on your state, fight or flight, or rest and digest. This connection is called neurocardiology, the study of the heart-brain relationship. Your heart has over 40,000 neurons and its own electromagnetic field. Some scientists call it a second brain. In fact, the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. And so your thoughts can affect your heartbeat, but your heartbeat can also affect your thoughts. Let that sink in. The way you breathe, the way you feel, and the way your heart responds, it's all connected. And while you sleep, your heart doesn't rest, but it does soften, it slows. It settles into deep parasympathetic rhythms, allowing your body to restore, repair, and realign. This is why sleep is sacred, not just for the mind, but for the heart. So tonight, as your body sinks deeper into rest, let your blood continue its faithful journey. Let your heart beat quietly, rhythmically, holding you in an ancient dance of life. Because to carry oxygen, we must first receive it. Let's follow the breath. To the lungs, the next gateway of life. Chapter 5. The Respiratory System. Each breath is a quiet miracle. The air you inhale feeds every cell. Right now, whether you're aware of it or not, you're breathing. Inhale, exhale, without thought, without effort. It's the first thing you did when you entered the world and the last thing you'll do when you leave it. Breath is life. Your lungs are the gateway between the outer world and your inner world, sacred organs that take invisible air and turn it into energy. As you rest, let's explore the system in quiet wonder. The lungs sit like two soft sponges in your chest, protected by your rib cage and separated by your heart. Each lung is divided into sections called lobes, 3 on the right, 2 on the left. They expand and contract around 20,000 times per day, gently inflating and deflating as you breathe. When you inhale, air enters through your nose or mouth, travels down your trachea, the windpipe, and then splits into 2 bronchi, 1 for each lung. From there, it branches into smaller and smaller tubes, like an upside-down tree until it reaches the alveoli, tiny air sacs, over 300 million of them. It is here, in these delicate sacs, that the magic happens. Oxygen from the air passes through the walls of the alveoli and into nearby capillaries, where it enters your bloodstream. At the same time, carbon dioxide, a waste product from your body's cells, moves from the blood into the alveoli, ready to be exhaled. This exchange of gases is called respiration, and it happens in mere seconds, billions of times a day. Breathing is powered by a hidden muscle, the diaphragm. Shaped like a dome, it sits beneath your lungs. When you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward, creating space for your lungs to expand. When you exhale, it relaxes and rises again. This muscle works automatically, but it also responds to emotion. Anxiety shortens the breath. Grief makes it heavy, peace deepens it. In many traditions, breath is more than biology. It's prana, chi, spirit, or ruach, the very force of life. And modern science agrees. Deep breathing can calm the nervous system, regulate the heart, and reduce inflammation. As you listen to this, you might notice your own breath slowing. That's not a coincidence. It's the body returning to safety. There's something sacred about watching the breath, especially during sleep. It becomes slower, steadier. The body receives more oxygen to repair tissues. The brain clears out toxins. The lungs rest and replenish. The respiratory system is also beautifully interconnected. The brainstem controls your breathing rate based on carbon dioxide levels in the blood. Receptors in your muscles and joints adjust breathing during movement. Emotions shift the breath, and breath can shift emotion. Breathing is a conversation between body and brain, between instinct and awareness. Even at rest, you're never still. With each inhale, you receive. With each exhale, you release. It's a rhythm older than words. The first lullaby your body ever knew. Your lungs aren't just organs, they're instruments. Every sigh, every song, every whispered prayer flows from them. And as you rest tonight, your lungs will continue their gentle work, nourishing you cell by cell, breath by breath. Now let us go deeper still, into the very source of your energy. Let's journey into your digestive system. Chapter 6. The digestive system. Your body knows how to nourish itself. One bite, one swallow, one silent conversion at a time. Every morsel you eat begins a journey far longer and more intelligent than we often realize. From the moment food touches your tongue, a complex orchestra of movement, chemistry, and transformation begins. Let's begin at the mouth, the gateway to the digestive system. Here, digestion begins not with the stomach, but with your senses. The sight and smell of food trigger saliva production, even before your first bite. That's your parasympathetic system at work, preparing the body for nourishment. Your teeth grind food down, and your tongue shapes it into a soft, swallowable ball called a bolus. Saliva contains enzymes that begin breaking down carbohydrates right in your mouth. Digestion begins before you even swallow. As you swallow, the bolus travels down your esophagus, guided by wave-like muscle contractions called peristalsis. Within seconds, it reaches your stomach, a muscular organ lined with powerful acids and enzymes. There, food is churned and mixed with gastric juices, breaking it down into a thick, soupy mixture called chyme. The stomach doesn't just digest, it sanitizes. It kills pathogens, protects your body, and regulates the release of its contents into the next phase, the small intestine. The small intestine, though slender, is over 20 feet long. It's the true heart of digestion, where nutrients are absorbed and sent into your bloodstream. Here, enzymes from the pancreas break down fats, proteins, and carbs. Bile from the liver emulsifies fats. Tiny finger-like projections called villi and microvilli line the intestinal walls, absorbing vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and glucose. This is where food becomes fuel. Nutrients travel through the hepatic portal vein to the liver, where they're processed, stored, or converted into energy. The liver filters toxins, stores glycogen, produces cholesterol, and helps regulate blood sugar, all quietly, without thanks. The remaining indigestible food moves to the large intestine, or colon, where water is reabsorbed and gut bacteria continue to break down the leftovers. These microbes, known as the gut microbiome, are vital to your health. They assist with digestion, produce vitamins, and even influence mood and immunity. Yes, your gut talks to your brain. This is known as the gut-brain axis, a bidirectional communication highway. The enteric nervous system, sometimes called the second brain, contains over 100 million neurons. It produces serotonin, regulates inflammation, and reacts to stress. Have you ever had a gut feeling or butterflies before speaking in public? That's your digestive system responding to emotion. And as you sleep, digestion slows, but does not stop. The parasympathetic nervous system, which dominates during rest, encourages continued movement through your intestines, nutrient absorption, and detoxification. Sleep is essential for digestive repair. It's when the intestinal lining regenerates, when liver enzymes reset, and when the body prepares to do it all again tomorrow. Now think of your body, not as a machine, but as a garden. Everything you eat becomes the soil in which you grow. Whole foods nourish. Fiber feeds beneficial bacteria. Water carries nutrients where they're needed. You are constantly being rebuilt, cell by what you consume. So tonight, as you rest, your body continues to work quietly, breaking down, absorbing, filtering, and healing. One breath, one beat, one bite at a time. But to command this symphony, something else must be listening. Let's follow the signals into the next great conductor, the nervous system. Chapter 7. The Nervous System. Even now, while your body rests, your nervous system hums. It watches, it listens, it remembers. This is the master conductor, a vast network of electricity and chemistry guiding every heartbeat, breath, and thought. Let's begin with the center of it all, your brain. Housed within your skull, the brain is a soft, wrinkled mass weighing about 3 pounds. But don't let the size fool you. It contains more than 86 billion neurons, each forming up to 10,000 connections, creating an electrochemical universe within you. These connections, called synapses, allow neurons to speak to one another using electrical pulses and neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine. They carry thoughts, movements, memories, and emotions. At the base of your brain is the brainstem, the oldest part of your brain, evolutionarily speaking. It regulates survival functions, heart rate, breathing, digestion, and sleep cycles. It's where consciousness meets instinct. Just above that lies the cerebellum, which fine-tunes movement and balance. Athletes, dancers, and typists all rely on its quiet perfection. Then the cerebrum, the wrinkled crown, divided into lobes. The frontal lobe guides decisions, planning, and speech. The parietal lobe interprets touch and spatial awareness. The temporal lobe holds sound, memory, and language. The occipital lobe lets you see and interpret the world. The brain doesn't work alone. It's supported and protected by the meninges, 3 layers of tissue, and cerebrospinal fluid, which cushions, nourishes, and removes waste, a natural detox that happens most during sleep. Extending from the brain is the spinal cord, a thick bundle of nerves encased in the vertebrae. It acts as the main highway for messages traveling to and from the brain. Branching out from it are peripheral nerves that reach every organ, muscle, and inch of skin. This forms the two main parts of your nervous system: the central nervous system, CNS, brain plus spinal cord; the peripheral nervous system, PNS, all the nerves beyond. Within the PNS is another division, the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions like heart rate, digestion, pupil dilation, and body temperature. It has two branches: the sympathetic nervous system, which activates in danger, fight or flight; the parasympathetic nervous system, which soothes, rest, and digest. When you relax into sleep, the parasympathetic system takes over. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, your digestive system resumes, and your brain slips into deep waves of repair and integration. Even while you sleep, your brain is busy. During REM sleep, it plays out dreams, fragments of memory, emotion, and imagination stitched together by mysterious processes. During non-REM sleep, it consolidates memories, solves problems, and clears out metabolic waste through the glymphatic system, a newly discovered brain cleaning network. This is why good sleep is essential for mental health, focus, and creativity. Now let's return to the neuron, the star of the nervous system. A neuron has three parts: dendrites, which receive signals; the cell body, which processes them; the axon, which sends them onward. At the end of each axon are tiny terminals that release neurotransmitters across a gap, the synapse, into the next neuron. This happens millions of times per second. Some neurotransmitters excite the next neuron, others inhibit. This is how the nervous system creates balance, a dynamic flow of signals shaping every thought, sensation, and movement. Now picture your body as a map, a web of nerves beneath the skin. Touch something hot? Sensory neurons fire a signal to the spinal cord. The spinal cord immediately sends a motor command back to pull your hand away. This reflex is so fast it bypasses the brain. Other signals, like hunger, pain, or pleasure, are processed in the thalamus, the brain's relay center, then sent to the cortex to be understood. Then there's the limbic system, the emotional brain. It includes the amygdala, emotion plus fear; hippocampus, memory; hypothalamus, hormones plus homeostasis. These structures guide instinct, memory, and emotional response, from falling in love to sensing danger in a quiet room. Your nervous system is also deeply plastic. It can rewire itself. This is called neuroplasticity, and it means your brain is never fixed. Every experience, every repeated thought or habit lays down a pattern. With intention and repetition, you can reprogram your brain. This is how learning happens, and healing too. And as you sleep, your nervous system doesn't stop. It resets. It rehearses. It heals damaged nerves. It strengthens connections. It lets go of stress through dreams and restores mental clarity for tomorrow. The body is only as strong as the messages it receives. And tonight, those messages are calm, clear, and safe. Chapter 8: The Endocrine System. Tiny glands guide the tide of your emotions, energy, and sleep. They are scattered throughout your body, small and often overlooked, yet their influence is vast. This is your endocrine system, a network of hormone-secreting glands that control long-term change, growth, metabolism, and mood. Unlike the nervous system, which uses electrical signals for instant communication, the endocrine system uses chemical messengers, hormones. These are secreted directly into your bloodstream, traveling to distant organs, delivering instructions, and then quietly fading away. Let's begin with the pituitary gland, often called the master gland. It sits at the base of the brain, no larger than a pea, yet it orchestrates much of your hormonal symphony. Under the influence of the hypothalamus, it releases hormones that regulate growth, reproduction, metabolism, and even stress response. Right beside it, tucked within your brain, is the pineal gland. This tiny structure produces melatonin, the hormone of darkness. It rises with the night, telling your body it's time to rest. Melatonin regulates your circadian rhythm, your internal clock. It's what makes you sleepy when the sun sets and alert when it rises. And tonight, as you lie here listening, melatonin is flowing gently through your bloodstream, easing your mind into rest. Next, the thyroid gland, shaped like a butterfly, resting at the base of your neck. It produces hormones that regulate your metabolism, the rate at which your body converts food into energy. Too much thyroid hormone, and your body speeds up. Too little, and everything slows down. This gland sets the tempo of your inner world. How fast your heart beats, how warm you feel, how energetic or sluggish you become. Then come the adrenal glands, perched atop your kidneys. These glands are your body's stress responders. They release cortisol and adrenaline during times of danger, preparing you for fight or flight. But they also support energy regulation, inflammation control, and salt balance. While chronic stress can exhaust them, deep rest, like the kind you're entering now, allows them to recover. In your abdomen, the pancreas serves a dual role, both a digestive and endocrine organ. It releases insulin and glucagon, which regulate blood sugar levels. These hormones ensure that energy from food reaches your cells and is stored or released when needed. There are also the gonads, the ovaries in women and testes in men, which release sex hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. These shape not just reproduction, but mood, motivation, muscle tone, and memory. Together, these glands speak a language of adaptation, adjusting your body to time, emotion, season, and age. Hormones rise and fall in rhythms, circadian, monthly, seasonal. Some follow cycles as old as life itself. And the endocrine system doesn't work in isolation. It is tightly linked with your nervous system, forming the neuroendocrine system, a bridge between thought and chemistry. That flutter of excitement, that deep calm after prayer, both likely involve hormones. Sleep, too, is hormonal. As you enter deeper stages of rest, your body releases growth hormone, which repairs tissue, supports immunity, and promotes fat metabolism. It is only released during sleep. So as you lie still, your inner world is shifting, not in haste, but in waves, pulses of chemical instruction moving through the dark. Your body listens to these signals, follows them, adjusts. And while these messages flow, so does protection. Let's now travel to the invisible shield that guards you, the immune system. Chapter 9. The immune system. A silent army guards you every day, quietly scanning, identifying, healing. This is your immune system, an intricate defense network spread throughout your entire body. It works without pause, distinguishing friend from foe, self from invader, and healing wounds before you even notice. Let's begin with the white blood cells, your first line of defense. These come in many types, each with their own roles. Neutrophils are quick responders. They rush to sites of infection, engulfing pathogens like microscopic bodyguards. Lymphocytes, like T cells and B cells, are more strategic. B cells produce antibodies, which tag invaders for destruction. T cells directly kill infected cells or help regulate the immune response. And then there are the natural killer cells, quiet enforcers, always on the lookout for cells behaving abnormally, like those infected by viruses or turning cancerous. When they find one, they strike fast. These cells circulate in your bloodstream and lymphatic system, a parallel network of vessels and nodes that filter and drain waste. Lymph nodes, those small bean-shaped structures often felt under your jaw or armpits. Act like immune stations, scanning everything that flows through them. Another key organ is the spleen, which filters blood, stores white blood cells, and removes damaged red blood cells. The thymus, located behind your sternum, is where T cells mature and learn what to attack, and more importantly, what not to. When your immune system detects an invader, it mounts a response: inflammation. Though often seen as a nuisance, inflammation is a protective measure. Blood vessels widen, allowing immune cells to flood the area. Swelling, redness, heat. These are signs that your body is healing. Then, as the job is done, inflammation should recede, leaving only repair behind. A balanced immune system knows when to act and when to rest. And where does the immune system gather much of its strength? Your gut. Roughly 70% of your immune cells reside in the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, GALT. This makes sense. Your digestive system is the largest entry point for foreign material. Your gut microbiome, trillions of bacteria living in your intestines, not only help digest food, but also train your immune system. A healthy microbiome fosters a strong, balanced immune response. An imbalanced one can trigger inflammation, allergies, or autoimmunity. Your lifestyle deeply influences immune health. Sleep, hydration, whole foods, movement, sunlight, and stress levels all affect how well your body protects itself. And while you sleep, your immune system doesn't. It works quietly, strengthening memory of past infections, adjusting antibodies, and releasing cytokines, chemical messengers that regulate immune responses and inflammation. This is why rest is essential when you're sick. Sleep is not avoidance, it's active recovery. So tonight, as your body slips deeper into stillness, your immune system sharpens, scanning cells, repairing tissue, learning from experience, like a watchful guardian that never sleeps. But when balance is needed, another system steps in. Chapter 10. The Urinary System. Your kidneys filter every drop, clearing, calibrating, cleansing. Though it works in quiet cycles, the urinary system is one of your body's most vital maintenance crews. It filters your blood, removes waste, and balances the delicate levels of water, salts, and minerals that keep everything in harmony. Let's begin with the kidneys. 2 fist-sized organs located on either side of your spine, just beneath your ribs. These organs process roughly 50 gallons of blood every single day, extracting toxins, waste, and excess water to create urine. Inside each kidney are nephrons, microscopic filtering units, millions of them. They sift and sort, molecule by molecule, ensuring that only waste exits and the rest is reabsorbed into your bloodstream. As urine is produced, it flows down slender tubes called ureters, one from each kidney, toward the bladder, a hollow muscular organ that gently expands to store this waste until it's ready to be released. The bladder's stretch receptors let you know when it's time to empty, and then, with ease, urine flows out through the urethra, completing the cycle. But this system does more than simply eliminate waste. It helps maintain fluid balance in your body, regulating hydration, electrolytes like sodium and potassium, and blood pressure. If you're dehydrated, the kidneys conserve water. If you've had too much salt, they flush it out. It's a constant dance of homeostasis, the body's sacred balance. The urinary system also plays a role in hormone production. The kidneys release erythropoietin, which stimulates red blood cell production in your bone marrow, and renin, which helps regulate blood pressure, even while you sleep. This system is active, but it slows its pace, allowing your body to rest without disruption. This is why most people can sleep through the night without waking to urinate. The kidneys honor your rhythms. And just like the skin, digestive tract, and lungs, the urinary system is part of your detoxification team. It ensures your inner world remains clear, pure, and functional. So as you rest tonight, your kidneys are gently flowing, clearing out what's no longer needed, preserving what you still require. And to create life itself, the body holds yet another sacred system. Chapter 11. The Reproductive System. This is the source of renewal, a biological story that begins before birth. The reproductive system is both practical and poetic. It's about survival, of course, but also legacy, evolution, and the transmission of life itself. It's a bridge between generations, a quiet unfolding of form, function, and possibility. Let's begin with the female reproductive system. Deep within the pelvis lie the ovaries, paired structures that store all the eggs a woman will ever have. Each egg holds the potential for life, and each month, one is selected and released in a rhythmic cycle guided by hormones. The egg travels down the fallopian tube, where it may or may not meet a sperm. A traveler from the male reproductive system, created in the testes and carried through a winding journey via the vas deferens, into the seminal vesicles and prostate, and finally released through the urethra. If egg and sperm unite, conception occurs, and a zygote is formed, the first single cell of a new being. That cell divides and grows, eventually embedding in the lining of the uterus, a strong, nourishing organ where a pregnancy can develop. The female body also includes the vagina, a muscular canal that allows for birth, menstruation, and intimacy. Its structure is elastic and adaptive, designed to protect and connect. In the male body, the penis is the organ for both urination and reproduction. The testes not only produce sperm, but also testosterone, the hormone that influences secondary sex characteristics like voice, muscle, and hair. In both systems, hormones play a central role. The pituitary gland releases FSH and LH, which stimulate egg development and sperm production. The ovaries release estrogen and progesterone, orchestrating the menstrual cycle and preparing the uterus for pregnancy. And all of this begins before birth. Reproductive organs form in the womb, influenced by genetics and early hormonal signals. Puberty brings activation, cycles begin, and over time, the body moves through seasons. Fertility, change, transition. Not every body will create new life. And yet this system is not solely about reproduction. It also contributes to identity, pleasure, intimacy, and the flow of life energy itself. It links us to ancestry and to possibility. Like all other systems, the reproductive system works in harmony with the brain, immune system, circulatory system, and more. Fertility is affected by stress, diet, hormones, and environment. Everything is connected, and while some parts sleep, others stay attuned. Even now, during rest, your body may be adjusting hormone levels, repairing tissue, or maintaining delicate cycles. This system, whether active or dormant, is sacred. It's part of the full picture of you, and all of this, together, creates you. Chapter 12. Integration plus sleep. As you sleep, your body heals, restores, remembers. You are the sum of systems, and the space between them. Your skin is sensing. Your muscles are dreaming. Your heart is still working. Your brain is weaving. Your cells are listening. Each system, intricate, intelligent, irreplaceable, and all working in harmony. There is no need to understand it all tonight. Just know that even in stillness, your body is never idle. So breathe softly, let your thoughts dissolve. Feel the quiet rhythm within. You are whole, you are cared for, you are enough. Good night, and welcome to deep, peaceful sleep.